I rush off at one point, it's because I'm pouring my tea and I will be but a moment.
Here it goes.
I'm so
Hello, everybody. It looks like the audio is turned on where it's supposed to this time around. But hello, everybody. Today is May 1st, 2023, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/IndoorAdventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/IndoorAdventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/IndoorAdventures. But let's say that you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter, and as long as that's still around, and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got crop tops, we got throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds of our merch is going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel as we go into Darkstar Legacy Part 2 of our Four Keeps campaign in the 20th level. RJ, who are you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Caelum, the Sharakai Wizard Fighter. We both go by he, him.
Hello everybody, I'm LBHackEmUp. I'm going to be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian, she, her.
Wait, I'm Cyber. I use he or whatever pronouns. I play Arjhan. Arjhan is a draconian. Shit, I used bridesmaid last time. Wedding Crusher.
Yeah.
He, him.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, she, her. I'm playing as Coriander, the Eladrin Paladin. She, they, and he.
And I'm the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, it's been a hot minute, but you know what? That is a-okay for a lot of reasons. One, while we are at the start of a brand new campaign, of a brand new story arc for this campaign, most of the threats that you've been dealing with up until this point have been taken care of. Sans Caius. Looking at where we currently are, the true name of Caius, taken. A weapon with which to seal Caius away, acquired. The spell in order to do this thing, also acquired. All things considered, that's taken care of. And as you returned to the material plane, a decision was made. A decision that Diantha and Caelum were to be wed. So what did we do? We entered into a stretch of downtime that has led us to this point, where Caelum has, at this point, given Diantha his true name as the wedding is reaching its fever pitch. And it seems like she is taking this rather well. The turnout for this wedding has been fantastic. What do we have here? We have dragons. We have your friends from the material plane. The Farron's there. Mugwort is there. Prescott is there. Rasa is there. Mystra is there. Saloon is there. The Raven Queen has appeared. The other Caelums are here as well. Like, this is, you know, Met Gala's happening in real life right now. Imagine all of those fun, fresh, funky costumes. Boom, over at Caelum's wedding. And this is just a wonderful day, all things considered. Now, Caelum, you have given Diantha your true name. To which, again, she responded warmly to. And she informs you that she gives you her true name as well. However, surprisingly, her true name is just Diantha Barbados. It looks like rather than it being kept a secret, she has sort of used the identity of Diantha Barbados as like its own separate thing. Like who she is and what her true name has access to is different than her name as far as a call to duty. It seems like almost being a Caelum has protected her from the usage of that, and now it's more of a permission based thing as to the access. Like the true name magics are accessible to the people that she wills it to be, and she lets you know that you are that one person. You also met Diantha's parents, who are nothing like her in the best possible way. Very short, quiet. It seems almost bookish in nature. Very old. Very much excited that their daughter is getting wed. Now, the ceremony has gone on at a wonderful pace, and it reaches the point where Caelum, you are able, if willing, if we're going by the more like terrestrial marriage customs, a ring would be exchanged at this point. What do you think is the like matrimonial exchange or like item based thing in this ceremony?
Oh, if you let me.
That depends.
Caelum goes to his pocket and pulls out a piece of red thread and ties it between his ring finger and Diantha's, and he will snap a finger and fabricate them into silver bands.
Ooh. I like it. She is like, you see that she is like a little like touched at this. Mostly because, again, like this is not like the marriage customs that she's necessarily holding to, but it seems like she's the kind of person who's going to make up her own, rather than trying to like adhere to some time-honored tradition. Diantha is very much that style of go-getter. So you have formed a silvered band, perfect fit around her ring finger. And you see that she, in exchange, will pull out what looks like and I say what looks like, but in actuality, it is a feather. But this feather is a azure blue that just seems like it has a perfect sheen going across the top. Like no fingers have ever like ruffled through it enough that it started doing that like matting thing. This is a pristine looking blue feather. And what she explains in this moment, as she passes it to you, is that in the Feywild's origin story, or at least in this world, there was a beautiful bird that was of this blue color that still exists today, but they brought over a lot of the wild nature that exists between the four islands. It seems like this bird's seasonal migration is what started the four different islands here in the Feywild. Now, interesting thing about the Feywild, a lot of myths, a lot of legends. They are true. So is this feather. This is like, as far as Fey energy and Fey resonance go, she essentially hands you a tuning fork to the Feywild where you can come and go as you please. But this is a specific token of affection for her, in that this, like, she has met this bird before and has been holding on to this feather ever since, not knowing what exactly to do with it until she realized that the one who is going to be flying the farthest needs a safe haven to return.
Caelum will gingerly take the feather and tuck it into like the lapel of his coat. If she does explain this to him, he will nod his head. Well, I guess I don't have to fly far to ever get back to you, huh?
And she will grab you by the lapels and say, I should hope not, and just gives you a big smooch. And having exchanged these items, a smooch to seal it.
The contract is sealed.
The audience here is very, very pleased. And I realized last time that we never established who an officiant would be for this wedding. Caelum, who would you like to be your officiant? Who is going to say, like, and with that concludes the wedding? Like,
God, who?
Who's the best with contracts here?
I mean, it's either who's the best with contracts or like who's the best spiritual leader. Because I was thinking Shua, he'd asked to
fair.
officiate the wedding.
Wow.
I mean, if you ask Chua, she is down for that. Like, this is a wild honor. She's never been to the Feywild, but like she's feeling better about being here. As we will remember, she had seemed a little bit more limber. Like there was less bodily like weight upon her being in this place of overwhelming beauty.
Yeah, Shua.
Yeah, and I think like as this happens, Chua will relay to the audience that the ceremony is concluded with the gods as they will, with the people as they may. The two of you are joined. And she doesn't really know, like she's trying her best. Like, I think this is what the elves would say for a ceremony. Because all she really knows is like the Goliath rituals, but this is already so far between. But she knows you, and she does not know Diantha at all, but has probably heard of her from either you or Cori or any of your other.
Caelum will just lean, like motion for Chua to lean over. Could you just say let's party?
And she nods. And she, like, there's like murmuring and people being like, wow, lovely, lovely, absolutely beautiful. Chua will clap her hands together, and as she does, there is like an accompanying thunderclap that seems to get everyone's attention. And like Diantha's parents are like, oh my, like they are very like taken aback by the sudden noise and sound. And Chua says, and with that, let the after party reception begin. And like there's like the people here that your audience stands and cheers and begins clapping, and you can see that like all of your companions, all of your traveling companions and friends, even Arjhan is here. They like you've all taken a lot of time and a lot of effort to get to this point. And it seems like this cadre of friends, family, and what have you are all here to celebrate that. Caelum, make a perception check.
Oh? Is there a sneaky shadow in the corner who is upset they weren't invited to the wedding? 19?
A 19. So it does involve a shadowed figure. You weren't far off. However, I would say that you are a little bit more on defense than you need to this day of your wedding. What you spy with a 19 is that Cypress is standing towards, like, in the back. Like, I would say he's standing farther apart than, the Caelum of Summer and Cori's obviously like in your party. Like the Caelums aren't all sitting together. He's sort of off by himself because he brought Snowy with him, his wonderful young crag cat. And you see that the Raven Queen is actually standing next to Cypress. And she, you see, just sort of like tilts her head onto his shoulder. And Cypress stiffens and just like keeps like playing and like then like relaxes a little bit. As the Raven Queen, looking very much like Cori, is like it's a reassuring thing for him, especially because Cypress never knows how to feel with a lot of Feywild politics and celebrations for a variety of reasons. But this is just not something that he is typically invited to say the least.
There is a text box over Caelum's head that reads, "Caelum will remember this."
Okay, so reception is in full swing. Drinks are being shared. You can see that there are stations set up, one of which is a station that was set up by none other than Yuglon Jonquil, who, having taken Caelum's portrait spell, has sort of modified it further, where there are 10-second videos that you can record for the wedding party using these portraits. And then once the ceremony is over, obviously, those portraits will be then given to the bridal party. So that way they can kind of view them and see all the nice things that people have said. There's fun costumes. It's the Feywild. And they do their best to really establish that, like, you can eat the food here to, like, all of the material plane visitors. Like, that's a myth. Like, the eating in the Feywild, don't worry, all of this is been bought and catered. We're giving it freely if that's something that you all really need for us to say.
You telling me a bottom catered this?
Oh my god. So thankfully, again, there is a variety of food. Caelum, do you think that you would have been more vocal in the food choices? Or do you think that you would have left that to Diantha?
To Diantha, he would have left it to Cori's mom, who was
very true.
doing all of the wedding planning.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that
yeah, but like the couple gets like, you know, taken in for like a tasting and it's all like, what do you want?
I kind of want carrot sticks.
Diantha just like shakes her head. She is going to suggest essentially like a burrito bar, where that way, like, if you have any food preferences or you need like a surplus amount, like, it's covered. You can just get whatever while you're there.
RJ went to a wedding not too long ago. They had a single station for just mac and cheese. There were 3 different types.
Yeah.
There was like a vegan mac, a regular mac, and a lobster mac that got obliterated.
Oh my god, yeah. Let's get some of that shit in here. That's at your wedding now. Boom, taken care of. But yeah, it's like a surplus of delicious foods. So that being said, would any of you like to leave a short message for your friend Caelum, or would you like to give a speech to all of those who have come to see your friend get married?
Real quick, there is just 10 seconds of Arjhan and Aldrich just yelling at the picture.
Incredible.
Gwen is going to give a speech.
Okay.
She gets up on a table and she has a glass in her hand and she says, "I'm going to keep this short and sweet. When I met Caelum, he was a sniveling, scared little boy, and I have seen him grow and blossom into a strong, powerful man. And I hope that in marrying such a strong, powerful woman, all of your offspring are just as strong as powerful." And she says something in Giant which in translation just says, to the future, and she downs her drink.
Caelum responds in giant and downs his drink.
And then she like gets down off the table, walks to the table, looks at Diantha, gives a thumbs up, look at Caelum, and just goes, "I want grandkids, okay? That's all I'm saying." Walks
That
away.
old, you're aunt material. What?
That's a conversation for you and Philip.
Arjhan will go to the portrait thing.
Okay.
We'll sit down. Start the recording. Do the 5th edition pause. Caelum. The only thing more impressive than your power and wit is your creativity and curiosity. I doubt there will ever be a stagnant moment in your and Diantha's lives together. And I know it will be full of excitement and surprises. I wish you nothing but the best. Did it end? Okay, great.
5 more seconds. And
He
we're
waits.
done.
And Cori. Speech, video, or just gotta like congratulate him in person and leave it at that?
I think that Cori will do a portrait. She will say, I'm not gonna do it because I'm gonna spare you guys. She just kind of rambles, like a little too excited and a little too happy, because like Cori's 100% the kind of person who cries at weddings. And so she rambles for some time, and then she gets like a 15 seconds. She says, okay, be excellent to each other, be well to each other, and Diantha, show him everything that the Feywild has to offer, because I think that the beauty of the Feywild is rivaled only by the beauty that you have to offer each other. And I just think, and then it just like cuts off.
And then a second one appears. Continuation of Cori rambling.
But there's like 10 seconds missing in the middle, and there's no context, so you have no idea what she's talking about now.
There's like 3 or 4 of them, and like it just like cuts off, and then it starts again, and then it cuts off, and then it starts again, and that's how it ends.
You have to search in the comments for like where they stitched part 2. Like it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
You can tell where part 2 is because it is a different season of Cori to like try and keep yourself more composed.
Well, see, like here's what happens is that it starts with one season, and then like the other one tags in. It's all like it's the spring season, and then like summer season like pokes her head in and says, "Mother's coming."
All of them cheese it and runs. Like
they run.
Scamper away. You just see like Cori's mom power walking, camera falls.
High cute mid-credit scene.
Incredible. So speeches are being made. All of the again, everyone is here. And you hear like somebody going to make a speech. And it is Farron. And Farron stands and says, "I was planning on using the portrait, but I seem to have lost my ball. So instead, I figured that I would just take a brief moment and tell you all about the most wonderful boy that I have ever met. And I do apologize because he is not a boy now. He is a man, and he has proved himself that time and time again. But when I found him, he was on the side of a road in a broken down citadel, a cathedral of sorts. And this boy, we learned, had never had a friend before. He wasn't over there as a young godling, and Amaris will, like, wave. And I think that she's, like, climbed up onto your lap, Caelum, as, like, you're eating dinner, like, Zarina can't.
He's not even eating. He's feeding her
Yeah.
instead.
Oh, exactly. And Farron continues. But when we found our way to Shroudport, Caelum found himself some friends, and not just myself, Mug, and Prescott, wherever he's gotten off to. That being said, in a matter of days, we watched this boy change and grow to the point where he decided that he was going to go off and have his own adventures. And wouldn't you know it, they started singing songs about him. Songs. His travels, his journeys became notorious. Sure, if you look into the actual song itself, it doesn't exactly paint him in the best light. But don't worry, that was only the first version. As time went on, we continued hearing bigger and better and greater things, wonderful things that Caelum was getting up to. And then wouldn't you know it, I found myself owing him my life. And I don't mean that figuratively for all of you here. Caelum is one of the most selfless people that I have ever met. From my understanding, a djinn and a Afriti offered Caelum a wish, his party a wish, and they could do whatever they wanted. They could ended the winter thing. Was that still? I don't know. Is that it? They could have either taken care of that. They could have traveled anywhere in the world. They could have gotten money or power or anything. But Caelum used that wish to bring me back to life. So when I say that I owe him my life, it is not figuratively, it is quite literally. His kindness and compassion are some of the greatest things about him. But he has a little bit of a wild streak, and we can get into that later over at the drinks table, and I can let you all in on some fun backstory side. But speech goes, Diantha, I have heard about you on a multitude of occasions, and not once has Caelum said anything less than stellar about you. You're fantastic, and I can see why the two of you are working together so well. I hope that the future takes you to somewhere comfortable, somewhere nice. And I hope your future contains either the busiest street or the most luscious countryside. Because wherever you go, you'll still have each other. And that to me is beautiful. So to everyone here, dragons, gods, old people, and mugwort, just like gives a thumbs up. I would like to say, you have found no better man this day than our very own Caelum. Let's have a round of applause, shall we? Hey! Like, Farron claps his hands. and he'll go over to you, Caelum, afterward, and he'll just give you a big hug. He's been drinking.
What would absolutely destroy Farron right now? Caelum sets Amaris down and hugs Farron back. And just for Farron to hear, he says, "Thanks, Dad."
And Farron laughs and says, "I don't know if I've ever been a father before, but as far as sons go, you're my favorite."
Damn. You got me. I was supposed to get you there.
And Farron just laughs to himself, pats you on the shoulder, and says, "Remember, I am still undefeated in a fight against one of the most powerful wizards on the plane, and I am not taking rematch opportunities at this point in time." And he just saunters off.
Amaris, cover your eyes.
Amaris quickly covers, and Caelum, as you're pointing even as a joke, you just hear "Caelum!" And Mugwort is an ugly crier. Even though he is happy, it is just in the beard. He comes up and he says, "I don't know what happened. I lost my ball. I can't leave you the message, but I just wanted to say, I think you're great. I'm so proud of you. You've done wonderful things. The beer here is incredible. Thank you for this trip." You're fantastic.
Thank you for coming. And I appreciate your words. And for you looking out for me. You're just as much of a father as Farron is to me.
I'm a father figure.
Well, yeah, you taught me that thing with the snares out in the woods. I got really good at rope tying because of you.
No, that makes sense. I miss you. And he just gives you a big side hug. I am sorry about the whole Elisharis thing, if it still helps.
You know, me too. Yeah, it's you. I don't hold it against you.
Good. I hope that your day is well. She seems nice. And he'll point towards Diantha very loosely.
Go get yourself another beer.
If you see Prescott, tell him maybe we should just stay an extra day or something. He's a ride home.
Okay, we'll do.
And he will leave as well. Party goes by wonderfully. Basically, everybody who's anybody is at this party. Are there any conversations that would like to be had during this time? Only people you won't find here, Tiamat. She probably isn't allowed to come on, Fae rules.
She gets sent a gift thing,
Can't leave a furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it? Not the +1. It's a French thing for the free gift at the wedding.
Aw. Is JD here?
If you had invited JD to a wedding in the Feywild between effectively an Archmage and a Guardian of the Feywild, I think that she would make time to show up.
Yeah. What
Is
about
the Owlbear here?
Owlbear for sure is here.
Oh my god. Are they still together?
Yeah.
Were we good? Were we a good
You were excellent
hit squad?
matchmakers.
You were excellent hitmen and women.
Oh, perfect. Gwen establishes that, pats herself on the back, tells Cori, look, they're still together. Fuck yeah.
A successful hit.
And then she's gonna become the drunk aunt and just drink.
Incredible.
As you do.
During the dance portion of the reception, Caelum is dancing with Diantha's mom and kind of scoots their way over to Cori, and Oliviette nudges Cori on the shoulder and lip points over to where Cypress and the Raven Queen are.
They're having a little moment. They're having a little dance.
Just shuffles away.
Yeah, Cori's just like, oh.
Olivia, like, you can see that, like, she sees them, but then, like, puts her head on your shoulder and just sort of, like, nestles in a little bit. She might be in her cups, and this just, you know, good old fashioned contact. She's enjoying it.
Well, Cori and Olivia are dancing. Cori very quietly, because this is not the kind of conversation that you should typically have at somebody else's wedding. This is just for her and Olivia. She says, "How do you feel about all of this? Something that maybe you'd want to do one day?"
And Olivia, she like takes a look around. She says, "No offense to your mother, but this isn't really how I think I would want it to look."
No, of course. There's a reason I've put off asking for so long. But seems that she's gotten it out of her system. So we might be okay.
Wait, I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is, I've always liked the idea of eloping.
Like right now?
Well,
I'm pretty sure you need like some sort of officiant or deity at a ceremony, but I don't know if you count as both.
no. Well, let's see the reception through, and then after this, how do you feel about stealing me away?
Oh no, I did not realize that you had snuck onto the cargo of my ship before we set sail. What are the odds?
Indeed, a divine, romantic stowaway.
Strangest things have happened. She like motions over towards like Zorina, who is currently like doing a little boogie with a very small Amaris, as she's just dancing with her mom. And you see that like Saloon and Mistra are just sort of like at the edge of the dance floor, like watching this happen.
Caelum has traded Diantha's mom to walk around the dance floor, pushing the wheelchair of Mistra.
Cori's just going to chuck Olivia under the chin and say, "Stranger things may happen still." And then she'll kiss her.
My God. Elviette is into it. It seems like she would be down for this elopement, this runaway, steal away scenario. Seems like and there are a lot of people who seem like they are just making conversation. It seems like Makoth and Hadarai have sort of like exchanged words with each other, realize that like, you know, they're different people. They're both here for Caelum, but like they seem like they've sort of set themselves up to talk when they get back to the material plane, especially because they're like, "Did you get that thing from Caelum about like the whole silver quill scenario?" I'd be like, yeah. Like, are you doing it? Like, I don't know. And like there's like conversation like that happening, and you can see that there are so many of your esteemed guests that all want to speak with Laurel. This tiny potted, miniaturized, like not really a dryad, more of an elf, but kind of a dryad. And like, how do you even move a dryad? I thought that you had to like move them with the arbor. How were you able? Like, and as they are talking, Laurel is just like all of this new information. And it seems like they are just having a great time meeting new folks. But the wedding comes. The reception comes. The reception begins to leave. All of your esteemed guests, at least the ones that have stuck around for the reception. And it's a Fae wedding, so the reception can last days if necessary. But for the purpose of this segment, if there's anything that needs to happen over a set of days at this reception, just let me know. Otherwise, reception begins winding down. People are starting to go back into the cities of Spring to take the official byways that the Judges 3 have set up for distributing the number of individuals that have come here for this wedding, sending them back to the places where they currently call home. So, that being said, Rasa is going to just return to the material plane because she has a sick place set up for her, thanks to Arjhan being able to acquiesce Tiamat for it. It looks like Todd also has just like, people love Todd here. Like as far as +1s go, Todd, a goat, has been a very welcome addition. But the reception is coming to a close. Everyone is able to go off in their groups as you will. So at the end of this reception, Caelum, you are left with a mountain of presents from a variety of people. And you also have a stack of these orbs to look through as far as messages and everything else like that goes.
Caelum lifts one of the presents, shakes it. I think this is a crock pot from the registry.
Yeah, and it's a lot of registry gifts. Like, typically the registry is more for, like, if the two of you are getting a house together and going to be moving in. She lives here. All of her stuff is provided for because she's a Caelum. Like, she's not without. So at this point, it's more just like, ooh, but we can get the fancy one. Like, we can upgrade from where we're at to get something that's more unique. Or like Kendek, for example, like crafted you a kettle that has like a perfect form fitting handle. Like, it is weighted properly, so like you can balance the kettle at any point along the handle itself, and the handle has been treated with like this nice polished wood, so that way it's not going to burn your hand as the kettle gets hot. It's that kind of thing, right? Where like it's not that what is already there isn't good, but this is wedding shit. Like, you're getting
Some of it's
good
like
stuff.
personally made by like really high-end crafters.
Indeed. And most notably, you find that on this table, and there's a lot of like art pieces and things like that, but there's one present that sticks out to you the most. That being, it was a present that you had spied being brought into the establishment and were curious about throughout the event, which was Mr. Saloon, as they had left a very small box with a very nice note, and it seems like it's a brown paper, a almost like starlight blue ribbon that has wrapped around it. And the note that you find attached to this says, you wanted to know if there was a mark of station for becoming a magister. We hope that with this, you will no longer question where you stand within our hallowed halls. And as you undo the bow and lift open the top, you can see that there is a mote of silver flame inside of this box. And as you put your hand out, you see that it is cool to the touch. It's not too warm or hot. It feels like the warmth of a hearth on a nice snowy night where you just want to spend your evening curled with a nice book. And that flame actually will wreath out onto your fingers, and you see it begin to extend almost like an aura around your arm, forearm, your chest, as it encompasses your body. And with that, you can add the feat to your character sheet. I believe it's Mark of the Magister, Silver Light.
Oh.
as you gain some pretty fun things. It should either say Magister or Silverlight in there. But I'll post what that does in questions for the courts.
Yes. Medium Armor Master. No. I will look for it.
Yes. If not, I might just need to, like, publish it in D&D Beyond. I don't know. I'll look into it more.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll find that here shortly. Also, looking through the orbs, and like you and Diantha take some time to, like, every couple of days, like, you'll like watch one or two of the videos. You don't want to watch them all at once, but there is a series of 3 that you see wrapped around each other, and there's a note attached that said the individual recording these was insistent that they all go together.
Caelum just like looks at the orbs, looks at Diantha, quirks an eyebrow.
Yeah, she shrugs, doesn't know.
It doesn't come with a tag or anything.
It does not say who it is
tag.
from. That's half the fun of these portrait things. There's no way to know who it is, and when you look on there, is just an empty chair.
Caelum will tap what he thinks will be the first orb in the series.
Thankfully, it is the first orb of the series. Now, I could jest and say that it's Shar, and she has a long, lengthy note to give you that's threatening and horrible and what she'll do, how dare you, that sort of thing. But in reality, what is on these orbs is far more horrifying and far funnier than you would anticipate. Because into the screen, you see Prescott. And Prescott is not very well found in his footing. And you can see that they are may have been in the drinks a little bit. Now, putting together these 3 orbs, you remember that both Mugwort and Farron said that they couldn't find theirs. So you're going to assume that Prescott had taken theirs to record an extra long video. Now, Prescott sits down in this chair, takes a big breath, and says, Caelum, I know I've never been one to congratulate you or to say that they are pleased with what you're doing or to give you any sort of credence or come up. But today, on this day, I would just like to say, I'm very proud of you. And you see Prescott just break. If you thought Mugwort was an ugly crier, it seems like Prescott is using that. He may have started drinking before the wedding, before the reception. Like, he had no food in his tummy when he decided that now was the time to drink. And he's a wizard. You know that their con generally isn't the best. And I say generally because your con is stupid, but you're also a fighter, and you were raised/trained by a fighter. But Prescott,
like, watching this entire thing, Caelum had been pouring himself a glass of water, and it's currently overflowing.
Diantha just, like, takes it and tilts it back. She doesn't, like, set it down for you. She just makes it so you're not spilling. And Prescott, you see, says, every time we would meet up, you were going out and doing so many cool things. Your friends are so nice, and I don't like them. And it's not for what they do, it's what I haven't done, and I'm sorry. And I think that you're really nice, but I have to be the mean one. You know, it's not fun being the mean dad when 3 of us are all raising a boy together, but someone had to do it. So I'm glad that from what it seems like, you're doing awfully well for yourself. You don't even have one song about you. No, you didn't settle for that. You have 2, and you're friends with dragons, and you've saved the Feywild, and now you're going to save all of us. And it cuts over to the second jewel, and you can see that he was rambling before that one started, and this is a very sorry rendition for the day the dragon came, that he is just like one-manning, inserting his own verses about how you also found a lot of really cool, super strong wizard guy named Prescott. Like, it stopped making sense. And then at the very end, the third gem, and he looks towards the camera, and you can see that like he's very disheveled. You don't know how many times he had to come back to the station, or if he just sat there for however long doing all of this. And he says, "That is, suffice to say, it has so many words that I'm proud of you. You are a lucky man, and I hope that your days treat you well, regardless of if you wake up and find yourself at 14 years of age, or if you summon a chicken from the great beyond and suddenly you're 600. I hope that you have a good life." Well, enough of that. And he pulls out a wand, and you see that he does a series of moves, points the wand to his head, and you see he begins to turn it at the temple. Caelum, make an Arcana check.
Did he memory wipe himself? Motherfucker!
It's on record. It's okay. He doesn't have to remember it. There is physical proof of it.
A 12.
A 12. It looks like he's whammying himself. It looks like he is brain wiping himself so he forgets ever saying a nice thing about you where you can hear.
Horrified. Just absolutely horrified.
Yeah, just absolutely horrified look on Caelum's face, and Cori just slowly like a joyful like just slowly in from the side, like,
How did you get into our honeymoon suite?
9 hells! Oh gods. Goodbye. Through the window.
Did you let her in?
She doesn't just do that.
I mean, she does, but
Okay, we're locking the doors. We're locking the doors, and we're using iron.
Did you tell her
doors.
that we're gonna be here? Because I didn't tell her.
No, I didn't tell anybody.
There's
Why would
2
we-
of her now. She can be anywhere, bitch.
Okay.
Caelum does send Prescott a sending with a thanks for the tough love, Dad.
If you could receive the sending equivalent of a thumbs up emoji.
Hell yeah, that is tough love, Dad.
Yeah. It's a thumbs up emoji and like a single black coffee.
You're just single black coffee. Yeah.
Okay. So those are the notable gifts and messages that were left that are of quotable note, we'll say. The rest are very nice. And kind of the same thing of just like, when I met you, you were just a boy. When I met you, you wandered into my shop. When I met you, everybody in my bar passed out, but you killed all of the muggers. So like, free drinks, what's up? And like, oh, it's Fang. Like,
Hey, Fang.
that sort of thing. But while Caelum is on his stretch of honeymoon, there are other things that we can't cover. Specifically, Gwen, when you get back, things are good, right? Like, you are, with Uvar Skold, you are making it a center of industry. You are trying to get things as up and moving as best you can. And that is when the first note, the first hint of tragedy occurs. It seems that on one of the scouting missions that your Goliaths are capable of doing, one of the scouting missions, and this is within the first 4 days of you returning from Caelum's thing. Like, these scouts were already out doing their thing before you left. The scouting party comes back, and they are missing several of their scouts. They do not look like this. Does not look like this was a uncombative scouting trip. And the scouts that return, obviously, their story makes it up the chain. And by the time that you are able to hear of it, Gwen, they describe that they were ambushed by a group of Deep Seldari that captured some of the Goliaths. They don't know what happened to them, but they, from what they were able to see, these drow were wearing what looked like a sigil of a mask, one of which smiling, a secondary mask slightly beneath it with a large frowning face. Gwen, you recognize that house symbol of the drow houses that are still apparently functioning in Tevel Yan. That is House Menstrayan. That is the house of the drow whose Wand of Orcus your party destroyed. As it seems like even under its skies saying, oh yeah, I'm from the Goliath camp on the surface up there, giving directions to someone so vengeful does not seem like it has boded well for the future. Now, this is to pursue this would be a completely different, long-seated affair. It isn't necessarily to say that these individuals are unrecoverable, but it seems like you picked a beef with someone who is willing to start shit.
Absolutely.
Uvar Skull has its first enemy.
How fun.
So do with that as you will.
I will. Gwen is going to take note as to where exactly this happened. She knows that the drow in question, she knows where he lives, right?
Yeah, you've been to her house.
Yeah. So
at least
from what
where you remember her house being.
Yeah.
According to Bill and Ted, a lot of shit went down
That's fair.
in the Underdark.
As a player, would this be stupid for Gwen to go to on her own?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
This is something that you would need effectively to complete, this is more of a thing that Gwen will most likely have going on in the background for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
As even running into end game / epilogue, because you have to figure out what the current social standing is. You have people that you know who knew things about the Underdark, but after the festival, no one really knows. You could reach out to Percival, but you don't really even know where their allegiances lie at this point. There is a lot to consider that if you were to just I went in by myself, I destroyed all of Drow society. There are enough people willing to play quote unquote the game down in the Underdark that sheer numbers and poison of a variety of whether magical, mystical, what have you. This does not seem like something that Gwen will be able to properly deal with in like, oh yeah, it took me a week and I got through everything. Yeah.
Okay. Noted.
Season 2 problem?
Most likely a season 2 problem.
Okay. Yeah, Gwen is just going to make a not a decree, but to inform her scouts as to what they're dealing with and what the drow are about. I think she would maybe commission Kendak to build basically flash bombs to blind if people get ambushed, to lay down the flash bomb to blind the drow, and to kind of like give a help that way.
Yeah, Kendek, honestly, he'd be able to create the casing, but from his understanding, this definitely seems more of a artifice style thing. Thankfully, I mean, you saved partially a city of artificers, and they may owe you some debts. So, you know, you got people who are willing to make flash grenades for you.
Yeah. Okay. That is going to be something that Gwen does during that time. Do we want to do the other thing too? The conversation with Philip?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, let me write this down. I think on a visit to the I forget what we called it, the mothering tent, the space where all of the younglings are raised.
Yeah, the mothering tent.
Yeah, Gwen is gonna she goes there to help out and see what they need and like that sort of stuff. But I think while she's there, she's gonna kind of catch one of the children kind of catches her eyes at like the runt, the smallest of them, who is either having trouble or some sort of thing like that.
Now, Gwen, when you catch this runt and you know, they spark their eye, the thing that stands out most about this one compared to the others, not just that they're the runt, but they do not seem as joyful. They do not seem like they are having the same like kid ha ha ha, I don't know how fine motor function works experience that other children are having. And what you discover, this child's name is Leo. That is correct. Leo's birth parents, the ones who were taking care of him, were on the scouting party.
Oof.
Leo is without any sort of like biological leadership. And unless there is a joining of Goliaths here within Uvar Skull that is willing to take them in to raise them with their specific set of ideals, that Leo will be raised by the village, which not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
But for someone who is experiencing loss, not having a direct anchor might be problematic. But when you see them, they sort of see you, and like it's very strange because you're about the same height.
Yeah.
Like they are a child, sure, but like you're short. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, Gwen will approach them and kind of just having got their history, kind of just go, why are you playing all by yourself, buddy?
And they say, just felt like it.
Yeah, I hear you've had a rough time recently.
And he nods and says, Teresa said that it was going to be fine. Chieftain?
Yeah?
Are you going to be able to find my parents?
Leo, one of the hard truths that we have to accept in this world is that sometimes when things are lost, they can't be found. And when that's the case in our tribe, other people pick up the slack, right? Everyone helps each other. I'm going to do my best to find your parents, okay? I promise you that. I can't promise you that I'm going to bring them back. And unfortunately, that's just kind of the hard truths. But I trust that you are big enough and strong enough to understand when I say, I'm going to do my best and I'm going to try.
And I think Leo, like, furrows his brow a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at you. And he says, they are out there. Teresa said that they would be.
They are.
And if you aren't going to find them, then I'm going to.
Really?
Before my dad left, he showed me a thing or two about how to use an axe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to have to get better. I'm going to have to get tall and strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can find them. And then I'll be able to look at everybody else. And he like kind of like looks at the other kids that are playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show them.
I believe you. You know what? When I was little, I wanted to be big and strong. And though I didn't get that big, I am very strong.
I've seen you lift a house.
I did do that. Yes, I'm, like I said, very strong. But it took a while to get there. Are you willing to put in the work?
Leo like puffs up his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I know it's going to be hard, but if you need help training, I might know a thing or two.
And his like eyes change.
Mm-hmm.
But you're the strongest. You train me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're willing to learn, if you can keep up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I can run like super fast. Watch.
Super fast?
Count. And he just starts like
Okay.
running.
Oh, bless his heart. He gets back and goes, that was really fast. I think that's faster than I could run.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because my legs are like super long. Even though even though everyone says that I'm short, like I can still run like really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, did you draw those flames on your shoes?
Nods.
Yeah. Those help. For sure. And actually, if you want, until you go find your parents or we find your parents, do you maybe want to, I mean, if you need somebody to look after you, you could hang out with Philip and I for a little bit.
I can hang out with Todd?
I mean, honestly, that is the draw. I'm not going to lie. I understand.
Leo
I'm not
nods,
even upset.
big nods.
Yeah, you can hang out with the Todd.
I've heard that he's like Talos's emissary.
Oh, yeah. He's badass now.
Yeah, badass. And like you can see like the other kids are like, oh, he said a swear, and he's like, I can say it. The chieftain said it and said I could do it.
Yeah, do you want to come see him?
Nods.
I was gonna go back there now.
And he'll just like walk next to you, and you can see that he has like a wooden axe draped over his back that like as like he's walking by you, you can see that he's done his best to like carve in what look to be the same like stylings of the runt axe on it.
Gwen like holds it together, brings him to where Philip and Todd are probably out in a field getting grasses and playing the flute or something like that.
Philip is actually like counting out some coin. Like he's like he's in business mode right now.
Yeah. She's like, all right, go out. Just don't approach him from behind, okay? He will kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, the shit out of me. And Leo like kind of heeds your warning. He's been around like aurochs and other large beasts before. He knows how to handle that. And Philip sort of like looks out, just, I hope that boy doesn't get kicked.
He'll be fine. Kids need to learn, you know.
I mean, I remember. I think we both learned the hard way. It was on McGrady's farm, and we both went to. It was a long time ago.
Anyways, so I was just wondering. I kind of said something before I asked you. So that's Leo. His parents were on the scouting mission.
Oh, he's that boy.
Yeah. I was thinking, I mean, seems pretty determined to get as strong as he can and maybe, like, go and, like, find them and, you know, come into his own and overcome his differences. And I was thinking that maybe I could train him a little bit and, like, since he doesn't have anyone else, at least until they come back, like, kind of take responsibility for him and teach him. And
Gwen, I don't think that they're coming back.
Yeah, I know that. I do know that.
Are you? And I'm not trying to poo-poo the idea or knock it down. When you say train them and guide them, are you meaning like we're cordoning off a section of the tent for them to sleep so you can train them from dawn till dusk, and then it ends up being like that lone wolf and cub scenario?
Like an adoption?
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was going for here.
Okay. Understood. And while you... So let's play a scenario out just really quick.
Mm.
So we together adopt Leo. First question, it's very important. What would be his last name? Would he be Leo Stompfoot, or would he be Leo Spicebottom? I think that if he's already having a problem with the other kids, maybe Stompfoot would really...
Yeah, I didn't want to, like... I just remember how much you got bullied for being a Spice
It is
Bottom.
a proud family name, but if you don't have the connection, if you don't have history with it... But
remember that whole, like, when we had taco night and people were like, oh, you're going to get a Spice Bottom.
Oh, yes, the Spice Bottom family welcome.
That was literally just Gwen. It was only Gwen bullying him for that.
It's true. Everyone else is like, that's the Spice Bottom. How could she? They're rich. His dad owns a dealership, like that kind of thing.
Is this the front of the line for the spank train?
Oh my god.
Well, what we could do, just depending on how you're feeling, I guess I should ask, are you leaning one way or another? Because we could do like a combined name.
Like a hyphen situation?
No,
or like
no.
Stomp Bottom? Or Spice
No, not well...
Spicefoot
like
makes it
Kick-Ass.
sound like we have something medical wrong with us.
That's fair. What about Spicefoot? Or,
How about just Stompfoot? Or he keeps his family name.
Until he's ready.
Until he is willing. I think it would mean more to the boy to keep his family name if he thinks his parents are alive.
Yeah. Well, I think he's just... I mean... I can imagine. I lost my kind of dad not too long ago, but...
Your dad is alive.
Not my halfling dad.
Oh,
My
father figure.
Goliath dad.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But so I mean, if you're okay with it, I think it'd be nice to, and when it comes time, like I have to go off and do like saving the world shit. And if you want to go adventure, the whole thing with the tribe is, we do like.
I could take him on some of my cart travels and show him the way of the road.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Todd
Yeah.
will protect us both.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say just
Yep.
make sure everyone's safe, but
I
yeah.
can teach him swordplay, but more in a artistical style.
What if you teach him how to like talk and communicate well? Yes. Because I don't do that. I do the fighty.
I know. That's why I
That
love
way
you.
that way he can have the brains and the brawn.
Best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I think this can work. I will admit, children were on a list of conversations that I was going to bring up in the next 20 years or so. Once we figured out the lay.
Yeah, we're still pretty young.
Oh, yeah, right. Are we ready to be parents?
Well, I mean, the nice thing is about the tribe is we don't have to be parents 24/7.
So we're basically cool ants, but they live with us.
No, it's like I was gonna describe it a real thing in human. It's more like we have him on evenings and weekends, and he goes to school.
I think we'll make it. I think we'll try, and that's the important part. And let's leave it up to him. If he doesn't like the way that we parent, that's a weird thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't like the way that we parent, he is always more than welcome to find other parents. I will be heartbroken.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm already kind of attached. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So let's hope that we do a good job. But we just need to remember that nobody knows what they're doing when it comes to parenting, and that's why we have a village.
That's true. That's very true. Okay. Well, guess we should ask.
Let's ask in a little while. Maybe not today.
Okay.
And you both look outside and you see that like Leo is on the back of Todd, and they are just like roaming around, like running very fast, and just he's a natural.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh! Wow.
And I think that like Philip like sort of like sidles up next to you and puts his arm around your waist.
Mm-hmm. She puts her head on his shoulders, like, oh my god, we're gonna be parents.
Usually there's a little bit of ramp time before parenthood, from what I'm told, but we're fine. Just another list of reasons and things why you can't die. Because now you have a child at home, so.
I mean, I always had Todd.
Oh, that's true. He's a
But
rascal. And you see
He
Todd.
is, but
and you
he's
see,
better than all of us.
Todd like kicks back and does the like horse pose, like
Yeah.
the traditional like Napoleon. A huge bolt of lightning like strikes the ground near to silhouette Leo in this very like noble pose, axe above his head. Like it's like it's like real Frazetta piece on this one. Like this is the Conan cover for sure. Of just Leo on this golden goat.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love it.
as you and Philip kind of settle in to the idea of being parents, that is where we're going to go into our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see all of you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! Both volume bars are back.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mother, why?
Bum, bum,
Bum,
bum, bum,
bum,
bum.
bum, bum, bum.
Father, help!
Father, help me!
I love
Crazy
this.
Long live the king.
I love this. He has such a grump face now. Beautiful
just-
creature.
I just came here to relax, and this is how you treat me.
Mom, I let
Goodbye.
you pick me up one time, and this is what happens.
All right. So, Gwen, you've decided that you are going to adopt a child.
Mhm.
Adoption successful.
And then she did. Like, I'd like to see anyone like try and stop her. Honestly,
No, not the chieftain. Not when you've been blessed by Talos like multiple times. You're fine. Cori, you wanted to have a elopement, a getaway,
Yeah.
as it were. Where is this happening? Like, do you have
We don't
like a
have to-
specific spot, or is it just gonna be like wake up in the morning being like, do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. And then you high five, and then like you're married now.
Yeah, we don't really have to play it out. Like,
'Cause she's a
let's
ship's
just
captain. She can marry anybody.
exactly. It's all like, like I'm a god and she's a ship's captain. I think between the two of us, we can make this happen.
Could I make it any more obvious?
Do you? High five, Orca jumps over you too, like Free
Yeah.
Willy
Free
style.
Willy style.
Yeah, I'd say that like we like nip away in under the cover of night, and like sail off and go and find like a deserted island to go say our vows at sunset.
Incredible. Yeah, she is down. Like, she
And
loves this
God
idea.
willing, we will never see Spring Cori again in this season.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, to tie the knot with Oliviette, lose the season, I guess, totally fine with me.
I will gladly sacrifice a season for a happily ever after with Oliviette.
Yeah.
Now anything can happen.
I mean,
anything.
didn't you already?
Huh?
Didn't you already sacrifice a season to be with Oliviette?
Yeah, no, but we went to your wedding, Dingus.
Oh.
So, for you and Oliviette, as you perform this exchange of vows, before the moon, I'm guessing. Moon is your witness. Ellestrade is
Yeah.
up there being like, fuck yeah. So as the two of you are exchanging your vows, a very interesting thing happens, Cori. Throughout your time as a mantle bearer, through being an aspect of Corellon, there is something to be said where like there is that base level, like a almost like a tinnitus like pitch, right? Where like it's just a constant thing in the background of what you feel is people's love and reverence for Corellon. That is incredible. That is a great time. However, in this moment, this is a ceremony that is being performed. This is like the spell ceremony. And the thing that is most striking is that, Cori, as you have been able to like separate your forms and learn more about what it means to be the mantle bearer, a lot of your abilities are about being able to assist others, to take care of others, to make sure that other people have health or defense or whatever they need. And Cori, as a Corellon-like figure, is effectively Corellon's love for every other thing. Like when they speak about the bleeding heart of Corellon, they are most likely going to be drawing reference to Coriander Jonquil. In this moment, you realize, or not necessarily realize, but you feel the effects of what it means to accept devotion from another individual. Oliviette will tell you in as simple of terms as she can that she has known gods. She has worshipped deities. She has followed captains, and she has listened to self-proclaimed wise men for years, for decades. When she met you, she knew that you were special. And she did not know how. As time went on, she learned exactly what she knew to be a truth, which is that you were special. She would follow you to the end of the ocean, and she has. She would leave the plane on a whim if you asked her to, which she has in the last several minutes, or in the last month, not even. She has known what it means to be in service to a god. She has never known what a god's love is like until she met you, though she did not know it at the time. In this moment, if we could look at like the primary deities of who you can draw inspiration and influence to and from, she is a paladin. Her strength comes from somewhere, and it used to come from Elistray. And we say used to because in this moment, her strength is from you. Every time that Oliviette casts a spell, every time that she takes that divine intervention, it will be coming from you. Lay on Hands is effectively a glowing version of her own, or of yours over hers to heal. If she does a shield of faith, it is your shield appearing and blocking for her wherever she is in this moment, because of how this dynamic is. Cori is there. The mantle bearer will be with Oliviette, because that is what she has chosen in this wedding ceremony to devote herself to. Not just a god who will listen, not just a god who is willing to love her as she is, but to a god who is actively willing to tell her no against her better judgment. And she's devoting it to a friend that she has spent months and months of time with, and who she believes that she sees you for who you really are. And that level of truth, that level of visibility for Oliviette, that in that moment, as she completes her vows, you see that there is this, like, because you're in spring form, you have that like pink glow, your hair is wreathed in a pink flame. When Oliviette is in the process of this, there is just this like rose petal pink that completely surrounds her, and it is a harmless flame. It is a sensory, like, she may be able to harness this later, but for now she is just this strange pink light, having devoted herself as a paladin to her wife. Cori's a wife guy, confirmed. So is Oliviette, I guess. Shit, that's another me wife guy. So yes, congratulations.
Yeah, that's so rad. Cori's vows consist of essentially saying that ever since she met Oliviette, she wanted to spend the rest of her life with her.
Aww.
And she wanted to devote the entirety of her being to her, but it was something that she was not free to give. And now in the form that she's chosen, she can choose to spend the rest of her life with her, and she will never leave her again.
I also just realized that we were joking about officiating your own wedding, but because there can be two Coris in the same place at the same time.
It's so true.
What if I'm just like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Like,
Is it my turn to kiss the bride yet?
oh, hey, oh.
the same Cori. They're all married to Liviette now.
Yep.
And then we see like Calmia Latifolia's sails on the horizon, and it's all like, go, 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 go.
They're warships, but they have like
Yeah.
party planning equipment. She's standing at the prow, like
There's a balloon arch behind her.
Yes, just flowers and balloons. It's like she's already had the wedding planned, and it's all like, I had you.
just incredible.
Go, 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 get out of here.
But yeah, so that is as far as your secret getaway wedding goes. You've gained a new follower this day. A follower is your wife.
Hell yeah.
All right. And Arjhan, is there anything that you would like to be doing during this downtime?
Rasa and I are just gonna go like body some nautiloids.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like she's totally down for this. She loves this. And I know that we had a conversation earlier, or you and I did, about more information about Rasa. You think that this would be a good time to bring that to the rest of the table?
I'm gonna say no because I haven't read it all
Okay.
recently.
Got it. Basically just kind of explaining like how old she is, like how long she's been working for Vlaakith, as well as the origin of Patience, of where she would have acquired the crossbow. And that's about it. But yeah, she's more than willing to talk to you more about that, or just again like just hang out. This is great, especially because like she's not used to seeing how acid works on nautiloids, like from Arjhan's breath weapon. Like she's so used to fire, like yeah, it's beautiful and it burns and it's brilliant, but like you melt shit and that's cool, because like acid bypasses a lot of the structural integrity of wood. Who would have thought? And other organic matter. So yeah, she's very excited about this. Yeah, other than that, how long do y'all think that it would be until you decided to come like reconvene as a group? Like how long are you letting Caelum just sort of like have his honeymoon time?
I think that's up to Caelum.
Yeah, how long's your honeymoon?
I mean, if it's in the Feywild, it could be for however long I want, baby.
That's true.
But how long is it for us?
Maybe like a week. That seems like a fair amount of time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that works for me.
for sure.
Several years later, Caelum emerges from the Feywild, dad bod.
We need new art of the boy, the man, the dad.
No, when I mean dad bod's like bags under the eyes from a baby crying way too long into the
God.
night.
Fantastic.
No.
So, Caelum, when you are when you have returned from the Feywild, and you are back on the material plane, it seems like not necessarily that there is a notice or an alarm that goes off, but it seems like your friends and companions have waited until they knew that you were back in the local area to give you sendings, to kind of hit you back on the, or at least to like catch up on the courier, or at least like you have written missives from the individuals that you've asked. Osmond, he's down. He's ready to join the Silver Quill. He thinks that sounds cool. Doesn't know what it's about necessarily, but if it has to do with that big cave that you found at the petroglyphs, he's down for it. He wants to know more about that cave. Did you ask Olin, the very old dwarf, to be in the Silver Quill? Yeah, he's also like, whatever's in that cave. Awesome. Sick. Hadorai effectively asks if there is a way for him to remote in. He would like to join, and he thinks that sounds like a great idea.
But he has a child.
But Laurel, and like, he can't
Yeah.
just leave. Like, if he can like project self, if he can remote in, again, like he would be more than happy to take this position. but he just cannot commute to work. It is too far of a drive.
Well, with the spell project image,
Exactly.
it could be like the Avengers with the hollow screens. Everyone could be where they are. It's just we can reconvene somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, he's down for it. McCoff, she will decline. In that she has to look over Shroudport. If you would like to exchange notes or stay in communication, she considers you a friend, and she said, and she thought you had a lovely wedding. However, she does need to focus on Shroudport.
Perfectly fine.
Who else would you have invited?
Yuglon?
Yuglon, yeah. Yuglon. I mean, he's down. He's not sure how consistent he'll be at meetings and being able to make it because of anything. Like, if it's just like you can say you're part of an order and then like once every decade you share notes kind of thing, he's down for it. But he is a very busy individual.
Yeah, I want to say that Caelum proposed the Order of the Silver Quill more like a joint research agreement between like a bunch of people he knows, like the brightest minds that he knows.
Understood. Alindra Stonemantle will politely decline. Mostly because she's the Archmage of an entire continent, and if she's joining even like a well-known, somewhat secret society on the other continent, there could be like talk about her allegiances and all that. Like, the continents are not at war, but it's more of you double dipping Archmage duties over there. As a
would she be opposed to a joint like research agreement, essentially like, hey, if like some kids from Vascor want to come over and study some of your stuff, and if some of your kids want to come over to Vascor,
like an exchange program?
Like an exchange program, essentially.
She would be up to fielding an exchange program. However, she would need to talk to the school first. She thinks that that's a good idea, and she will pursue that. But she's not just gonna like appear in Vascor and be like, "That wizard boy said that I can pick 5 of you. You coming with me?"
No, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. So she'll get in contact with the city to kind of go over that and see about some of that, because she's already like helped out with the broken down cities and other things like that. So yeah, Ardenthal is always helpful in situations like this because their Archmage pays attention to what's going on this side of the ocean.
What does Prescott say?
Prescott, he's gonna say no.
Okay.
And it's gonna be like, the reason that he gives is not a good one.
It's
basically just like, I don't want to use the spell slots for that. Like, he doesn't have, like, he's not like a super powerful guy. He's like lower rungs. If he's in the area, he'll stop by, kind of thing. But like, dude, he's just like, you could, like, don't worry about it. Yeah, other than that, it seems like you at least got a few takers, so that's good.
Good. Caelum will ping the 4 Keeps sending stone. Hey, where is everyone?
Hello. I am at the tribe. If y'all want to convene here with the house, I think that'd be fun. Let's do that.
Okay. All right, so Gwen has suggested meeting at the tribe. Any other takers? Any other suggestions?
Who has the house?
That's a very good question.
I think one would have been dropped off, so.
Yeah, Arjhan was off with Rasa.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, all we need is a silver door handle to some of the house.
Well,
Exactly.
a silver door handle and the key.
And door.
And the key, fudge. It's fine. I'm a wizard. I can get there.
Cori can have a house if we need someone to have the house. Yeah, Cori can have it.
Needed someplace to hide from your mom.
She can't get us here.
Laying low.
Your mother is very convincing.
During this time, Simon, can Summer Cori and Autumn Cori have split off?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Are you just Autumn Cori now?
Yes.
Okay.
For the time being. I think that she sent Summer Cori off to go and do some Caelum duties real quick, just to like wrap that kind of stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Autumn Cori can pilot the house wherever it needs to go.
Sounds good. All right. So, solid round of picking folk back up.
So, now what?
Do you guys want to meet someone special to me?
Never. Yes.
Okay. So, there was a problem with one of the scouting parties, and it looks like our friends from the Underdark, not the Underdark, Shadowfell Underdark.
Yeah, it was the Underdark.
Underdark, might be seeking to start some shit. And some members of our scouting party went missing, leaving behind, she says as she's walking, a youngin. And so he didn't really have anybody. And so Philip and I kind of decided to, we kind of adopted a child.
Congratulations. What happened?
He was just kind of sitting there, and he's like the runt, and he's like really determined to find his parents, and I'm pretty sure they're dead, but I didn't want to like say that, and I just want, he wants to get stronger, so he didn't really have anyone to like claim him, look after him, so I decided to kind of take him under my wing.
And you want us to meet him?
Yeah.
Well, excellent. And we'd be happy to welcome him to the family.
Cool.
As a foundling myself, yeah. Welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's out in the field playing with Todd. Leo!
And
She yells.
You yell, and you just hear, ah! Like, just an affirmative, not a word, maybe just like a sound, effectively. And you just see that there is just this like nice looking, small Goliath boy just standing in the field, and it looks like they had like it just looks like a large vegetable on a stick that they were like running from Todd playfully, but now that they've stopped Todd, it's like like just big old goat jaw.
Come here, I want you to meet somebody, please.
Toss it down, and Goliath boy like walks up, and the three of you who have not met Leo before can see that he has like a wooden axe on his back that looks like it has like, at this point it's kind of been worked out a little bit more. It's not as light in its like engravings, but it looks like he is like trying to make the runt axe out of wood.
Leo, this is Cori, Caelum, and Arjhan.
Hey.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
He waves and says effectively, like, I've seen you all before. Like, it's not like a question. It's a very matter of fact, but like that's kid brain. They are making a statement that they have met you before.
Mm-hmm.
We've been around the tribe.
He nods.
Yeah, so Caelum knows a lot about magic. Arjhan is like pretty much a dragon and knows a lot about like ranged combat and other things, potion making, that sort of stuff. And Cori is a fighter and a healer. And a magic user, so she's kind of all the things.
I know a lot about trees.
Trees are
Flowers.
born.
Also that. She's also a god.
And he looks at you. Prove it.
Are we just go around saying that now?
Can we say
Can we
that?
not?
No,
know.
I don't know.
Is that like public knowledge now?
I guess I can't. Sorry.
Knew it. Can I go back to playing now?
Yes, you can. Thank you.
Awesome. Todd! And like, he's very excitedly runs after Todd.
Oh, well, maybe I'm not a god.
It's tough to be a god.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry. Gwen, it's a lot of responsibility to look after a kid, but I'm happy you're looking after this one.
Thanks. He I mean, I kind of look after a whole tribe, but raising a child is very different. I've learned setting boundaries is difficult when you can't just say something and people do it. You know?
Well,
Arjhan, panicked expression.
But he's taken to Todd really well, and I know Todd can protect him. And when we go off and do stuff, and if Philip needs to go, he is going to take Leo on the road, and Todd's going to protect them. And
yeah, I doubt anything is gonna mess with Todd and Philip.
yeah. But I was I just know what it was like when I got into the tribe, and I was kind of alone, and my dad took me under his wing and got a brother that way. And yeah, so I thought, yeah, why not give back?
That's very noble of you.
I think you're going to do a great job.
Like, really?
Speaking
You
from
see in the
experience.
background that Leo just gets like a headbutt from Todd and like gets set flying. There's like an electric spark on his chest.
Walk it off.
I'm fine.
Oh, you
Kids
may
are
have your
resilient.
hands full with this one.
Yeah.
Speaking a little bit of experience, Gwen, we are a little bit of everyone we meet, and if Leo's met you, I think he's going to be all right.
Caelum, I think that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I have said plenty of nice things to you.
Yeah, but maybe that's the nicest.
Am I a mean person to you, Gwen?
No, I was making a joke. I'm sorry. No, yes.
Have I been
Thank
just
you.
this pedantic asshole this entire time?
Not the whole time.
Wait, what?
She punches him in the knee.
Somehow, for some reason, Prescott feels like he wins.
All right, what's the plan, guys? This whole drow situation isn't going to be wrapped up anytime soon if I know anything about drow politics, but I've given them some tools, so hopefully, what's the plan with us moving forward? We have everything we need, right?
We have
Right.
everything we need except for, I guess, a location,
Ooh, right.
and a means of getting there.
He's not in space, right? Like we determined that.
No,
Not
he is.
actually in space.
But
He
I
is in
think he
space.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on his way. He's on the other side of the moon.
The moon is holding him back, kind of, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we would need. We would basically need the metallic tyrant to be finished.
How much
Yeah.
time do we have on that?
How much time do we have on that?
You have maybe like a couple
You
weeks
can't hear you,
left.
bud.
A
No?
couple of weeks.
I can
Yeah,
hear you.
now I can hear you now.
Okay.
Also, how much time until Tylera lands at her destination?
Tylera will land at her destination in 5 days. At this point in time. So, you don't know where Caius is. That is a point of research. Still more things that I think, Caelum, you were working on a weapon with Kendek?
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Okay. So, that being said, I will say that, Arjhan, you get what is essentially a do you accept this incoming call kind of thing?
Did they call collect?
It is a telepathic bond, so kind of. They paid the somatic component, or they paid the material component if it helps.
They paid the blood price.
And you do know that it is coming from Tylera.
Go ahead, you're on speakerphone.
So what you get is not words necessarily. I mean, words are part of it. But what you see is Tylera, and she's like holding an arcane focus out so that way like she can look at you, you can look at her kind of thing. And she is going to ask your opinion, and she seems a little worried when asking, does this look good to you? And she will turn her camera, turn this aspect of the sending, and you see what looks like when you press on glass or ice, how it kind of gets those like spider line fractures. You see that on a massive scale in the sky. It is not heaven downward. It is seemingly just laying flat against the horizon. And you see that there are like what look like pieces of, like if it was breaking and turning to glass, there is like a large one of these glassed chunks that seems to fall off of the overall structure. As far as I know, this isn't normal this time of year. It's been a while.
I don't understand what I'm seeing.
I don't either. It looks like, and she will explain the like glass break, ice break scenario. Like, that's about as far as I can gather. I can send you my coordinates if you'd like. And she will relay this information that kind of puts her dead center in the middle, or like more east leaning in the Sea of Burning Night.
There may be a situation that we need to take care of. Or at least investigate.
Oh? What would that be?
There may be, the sky might be breaking. Or the horizon. The edge of the world may have been found, actually.
No, we
No.
confirmed it was round. We confirmed it.
Please, gods.
So wait, I just for Cori's sake, can the sky actually break?
Yes. Several
It can?
occasions, actually. You know, i.e. the sundering.
I mean, for my sake.
I wasn't there for the sundering. I don't. And Cori doesn't know that, obviously.
Well,
Gwen
obviously, I was
clearly
very
doesn't know and is
confused about how the sundering worked to begin with. But we've gone over it several times now.
I have mom brain now. I can't be held accountable for remembering things. Right.
When are you going to pick Leo up from soccer?
Oh God! No, he's still. Don't do that to me, okay? The boy wanders off.
Caelum, can you teleport to coordinates?
If I fine-tune my teleportation spell, maybe. Would that count as a familiarity with the location?
Yeah, I would say that it would count as a familiarity. Now, it is in the middle of the ocean, mind you. So you may want to have a boat or some other vessel ready. Or just be really, pretty okay with swimming.
How many? Up to 8 willing creatures of your choice you can see within range, or a single object you can see within range to a destination. A single object that I can see within range, huh? There's no specification? Oh,
Cori
it
had a
must be
boat,
able
right?
to fit entirely inside a 10-foot cube. Fuck. Well,
Cori's got a boat that she stole from pirates.
oh yeah, we
We sold it.
retrofitted. Oh, we sold it.
Yeah, you did sell that boat.
That we sold.
Wasn't that the bone boat?
No.
We burned the bone boat.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was the redemption.
Yes.
Well, it was. I want to call it the bone boat. Anyway. Well, I can't. Unless you're fond of swimming, which I know, given our track record, we are not. I can't teleport us to those coordinates.
I can swim fine now. I just want to put that out there. Cori taught me. I'm good in water. I'm okay at best in water. I can float.
I'm talking about our experience as a group overall in water.
Right,
There was
sorry.
that time that I was cursed by water. Well, I was cursed by a hag. But
Caelum
it was
got-
water that hurt me
Caelum got harpooned into water. That was the time.
because of that curse.
And then Cori
And
got
even
mind controlled
recently,
underwater.
as a few months ago, I was charmed underwater. That's supposed to be hard to do.
Yeah.
It must
Arjhan died in the water.
One, because I'm an elf, and B, because I'm Coralon. How did they charm Coralon? That just...
Idea. Where's Gideon?
We're in him.
Beep-doop.
Oh, right.
Greetings,
What?
resident Caelum.
Ah!
Gideon, can you change your external?
We're not doing a houseboat.
Why not?
It's
Houseboat.
tacky.
It could be a regular boat, but then we go inside. It's a house.
Isn't that how a regular houseboat works?
The magics that sustain me are built into my exterior design to allow for dimensional changes within my confines. I cannot change my physical exterior.
So what
Yeah.
you're saying is that if we wanted to turn you into a boat, we'd have to do it ourselves.
I would highly recommend not retrofitting me into a submersible or naval vessel.
Gideon doesn't want to be a boat.
Yeah, water damage costs an arm and a leg to repair anyway.
It's true.
We might best get to sailing.
Don't we know somebody who owns a boat who we could get somewhere very quickly?
Oliviette has absconded.
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
She's busy.
Oh,
Okay.
Caelum, is your teleport limited to humanoids?
I can teleport also an object, but it has to be able to fit into a Gideon 10 by 10 square, please. That. So unless you want to throw a bunch of life preservers into there.
Caelum, make an Arcana check for me.
Sure.
Water breathing, water breathing, water breathing.
Okay.
A 19.
A 19. I mean, there are magic items that you could probably like pull a boat out of.
Neat, quick Google search.
However, like gills appear on you as the water breathing. It's like One Piece fishman logic. You can breathe both. It's fine.
Okay.
Stepping outside of Gideon. Come on.
okay.
Pop the potion of Draconic Majesty.
Oh.
What level's teleport?
It is a 7th level spell. I could take us as your draconic form. Because it's 8 willing creatures of my choice and does not specify a size. So if we're all on Arjhan, we can hit the water flying.
Yeah. Okay.
Second star to the left and straight on till morning, right?
Well, if you teleport us, what do we see?
Okay. So the teleport has it does have a percentile die associated with it, I do believe.
If I'm unfamiliar with the territory.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, then I don't believe that you would need a percentile die. So you'll hop onto Arjhan, teleport. What you see is open ocean. There's tumultuous waters, and the thing that is most striking is what looks to be this fissure in the middle of the sky, from stretching upwards like through the clouds, and you can see like a cloud goes, meets the line, and there is like a pane of glass is like part behind, part forward, where it looks like it has like this stretching layer effect, and then just kind of continues out past that. And you can see where there have been those like kind of glass style breakings of these little tiny pieces of this greater fracture that seem to be breaking off and falling into the ocean. And it is just this large, formidable looking stress fracture that seems to exist on nothing.
Does this look like anything I've seen before, past, present memory?
Make a history check.
Sure.
Gwen immediately throws a handful of, like, probably 2 handfuls of coins into the water.
Very smart.
You. It's a pay for travel. 27.
Okay, 27. You do remember seeing something like this. You were, in a way, present for the Raven Queen's ascension, in that you saw those tears kind of open up in the sky. People got sucked into it. But those looked like they were more of a claw was trying to like tear its way in, whereas this looks like something is trying to push its way through. This kind of stress like fracture doesn't look like something hit it. It looks like something is trying to like come through a wall almost. So while you have not seen anything like this in its actuality, other than like, again, like a ball going through a glass, like a glass pane kind of thing, or like seeing if there's a indention on more of like a mosaic, how it does have that more like centrified epicenter of breakage. It looks like that is this, but on a grand, like spanning miles in either direction size.
Can I make one more history check to try and recollect the path of the comet associated with the traveler?
Yes, you can.
The path of the plane breaker?
He said the thing.
You know, the thing that's happening right now to the plane. That's a natural 20 for a 31.
Okay, so natural 20 with a 31. Planebreaker does not follow a set course. It does not have like a designated loop that any are aware of. No one's ever like that, you know, has like tracked how long it takes for the plane breaker to rotate. It does,
There are no tornado traces for the plane breaker.
exactly, like that kind of thing, because it comes so infrequently that by the time it reappears, people who might have been like doing histories on this have long since died, and people just like, oh, it's a thing that has happened, that sort of thing. You do know, you get the sense that what you saw on the petroglyphs outside of Vascor is correlative to what you are seeing now. It looks like something is pushing through. You also know that with a nat 20, you will remember that there are a group of Dragonborn out in the Sea of Burning Night who did not come from this plane originally. They seem to have come from somewhere else. You're guessing that if anyone knows anything about this star, about what is happening here, they would most likely be your best bet, or at least like a good start as to where to look, if they are the only people who still know the story of what this is. Right? With that nat 20, I will also say that you gain 2 more pieces of information. 1, when you watch that piece of that chunk of reality, as it is, like fall and chip off from this break, you can see that it has a substance. It has a actual form to it. It's not just like a 2D pane. It looks like a sizable chunk, and it's not a clean break. Like, it's not a jagged, like mirror like quality. It's almost like it's some sort of earthen quality to it. And as this chunk falls, you see that like it loses the quality of that like extra reality, like that layer over it. But what you see instead as this falls is a material that you're fairly used to using. You've heard them called echo shards. You've heard them called a variety of names, residite. But it looks like whatever these chunks are that are falling off are the same things that you thought were growing naturally in the Echo Shard Mountains.
Caelum is going to scan the ocean to look for like an island that looks like it's inhabited.
There's like a small island top, but it doesn't look like there's people on it. It looks at least like that's a good place to like post up, if anything.
Okay. He will try and like nudge Arjhan's attention towards the island while sending Tylera.
Okay.
If you are within the vicinity, I recommend you move now. Island to our east or west, wherever, directional coordinate.
The message that you get back is sailed through the night, can still see the thing. Any ideas? Maintain course? Question mark?
Tylera's asking if she should still maintain course.
I don't fucking know.
Let's hit the ground and figure things out. What's Tylera doing out here?
Tylera is trying to go start the search for my eggs.
For your eggs, okay. Just one last sending. If you can maintain course double time.
Yeah, she will send back just an affirmative. And then let me know if you find anything.
So we're gonna rest down on the island.
All right. So that's weird.
And now that you've kind of
Same.
like gotten away from the ocean, there is just a thrumming sound that seems to come from the direction of this event of what you're looking.
So question. The reality breaks.
Yep.
Are they're breaking off and they're forming just deposits of Echo Shard?
That does look to be the case, yes.
I'm going after one.
Okay. Yeah, make an investigation check.
16.
16. Okay. So with a 16, you'd be able to find
Sorry,
one of
18.
18. Okay, you would be able to find one of the deposits. It is sinking down into the ocean. It is towards the bottom, but like you're a black dragon, you can swim.
Mm-hmm.
That's no problem. So kind of looking around, you're able to find one of these deposits. And as you are like on your way back, part of it starts like basically like going through that pressure change. And some of it is lost, but you still have a sizable amount with you. And as you like crest through the ocean and look at it, there is what looks like a fading after image of the section of sky that it belonged to, but like it's fading into just what looks like this opalite stone, like this this echo shard, kind of the cloudy white material inside of a clear gem.
Yep, Arjhan comes back with a big old chunk of Echo Rock.
So the sky is breaking and turning into echo shards. Something's pushing
Oh,
its way
shit.
through the boundary into ours. It might be the plane breaker, the traveling comet that comes through here at once periodically every couple of years or so. We might need to find some of the island dragonborn that live around here and ask some questions, see if this is just a natural occurring thing in the Sea of Burning Night, or if, like, this is a one-off, like, world's going to shit yet again.
Do you not think that it's Caius?
That's what I'm worried about. Arjhan is just gonna put his talons on the Echo Shard and contact other plane.
If it was Caius, I think we would get a heads up from Ella Stray, wouldn't we? Wouldn't we? Cori, wouldn't we?
Oh my gosh, what if she's dead?
Well, I was going to try and put that in a more gentle way, Gwen, but yes, that is a distinct possibility.
And
Yeah, go to Arjhan.
Yeah,
sorry.
go ahead, Arjhan.
Yeah, Arjhan's gonna just basically like ask the other echoes if they've seen this thing before, if it's happening on any of their worlds at the moment, or if it has happened recently in any of their worlds.
all but one have not seen this thing before. The one who has is Arjhan the Flightless. What he is currently seeing, and this is the Arjhan that you have spoken to a multitude of times, what he is seeing is that there is a strange trailing that is occurring through the sky, almost like an aurora-like effect. He does not know what that means, but if you are experiencing something on your end, he's going to assume that this is related in some form or fashion. Speaking with the others, they are going to, if this is going to happen to all of them, if this is going to happen to some of them, if this is only happening to you, they are going to begin pooling their resources and combining their efforts to try and track down where this thing is going to go, where it has gone, what is effectively happening with this, to try and get a better understanding of it, or at least like if there are any like preluding signs or anything of this sort. But knowing that it is the Dragonborn, the other Dragonborn, who know of this thing, at least in your world, that will give the other Arjhans a place to begin looking, a place to begin asking, to see if they can get more information on that as well.
I would like to pull the resources now.
Okay.
And just sort of focusing on the echo stone. I just want to sort of push it up into the sky where it is and force it to reflect Arjhan the Flightless's world and cast Dream of the Blue Veil.
What does that do?
Okay, it's a Tasha spell. It says just like you fall unconscious and you teleport to another world, like you go from Faerun to Eberron or Kreen or whatever. I'm casting a 7th level spell. I want to see the Echo world.
Okay. For sure, yeah. I'm down with this. That's rad as hell. Yeah, so seeing the Echo world, looking through into this other Arjhan's reality. Do you do it near them?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like Arjhan is holding up the echo shard and he's trying to get it to reflect through it. Like he's using the echo shard as a magnifying glass.
Yeah. Yeah, so looking through their world, or looking through that Arjhan's world, you see that green line stretches like from the back of where this breakage is and then forward going off through the horizon. It looks like it has a more right-leaning curve to it, from where you are able to see in that green aura. And what you're guessing is being able to look at it from here, that this is some kind of flight path, or at least able to distinguish like where you can see it leading in his world. It might not be one and the same, but from what it's looking like, it looks like it is the aura is around like roughly the same size, I want to say, as what you're able to see in the sky, and sort of does have this like guiding quality to it. From what you were able to see on his end, though, continuing to look around, you can see that it does, like, where you're able to see like what an origin point is for it. You see that it is in the direction of the Echo Shard Mountains, like where Jirana's, where her village is, at least like where you know the general like cardinal direction would go to.
So I wouldn't be able to see what is pushing through from his world.
It doesn't look like he has anything that's pushing through on his world, either currently
from his.
Oh, from his. Yeah, like the you wouldn't be like the comet's not on his side pushing through. He just sees this like again, like that kind of like guide in the night. But like if you are looking through on what's his end, as far as what's pushing through, you can see like there are islands there that aren't where you are. But the most notable thing about those islands is that they look like they have a like an echo shard base to them. Like very much the echo shards being there had a bunch of sediment, sand, other things kind of like grow up and around them. And it seems like these islands, even the one that you're standing on, could possibly be as a result of these echo shards. You're not sure, depending on how large of a break this is, how much this is going to fall. Does that better answer the question?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so the three of you have seen Arjhan like hold up his contact other plane, cast a spell that Caelum you've never seen before, but it seems like Arjhan has like a very like clear intent with how to cast this spell.
Caelum has been shaking Cori for answers, but then just lets them go. Ooh, big magic.
I'm sorry. Do I have to ask what just happened? Do I have to be the one to do that?
I figured he'd explain in time.
Talking to your friends, right? Your other yous.
I think he's still
Going
talking
on,
to
Arjhan?
them.
Are where the echo shards have fallen away, is there anything there?
With a perception of the score that you have, you don't see anything physical, but you do see a light. And there is a glow that comes from deep within where these breaks are that has this like seafoam green, almost like, again, like almost like a bluish green glow that seems to come from beyond where these breaks are happening, where these spill marks are, where this fracture lines are. There's this like gentle glow. Now that you're getting a good look at it, that's kind of how it's being defined against the sky, is this glow that seems to be coming through it, coming with it. It's not black, and it doesn't seem like it's made of worms, so that's a plus, but it does have a very eerie quality. But it is the same coloration as that guiding line that you had seen in the other Arjhan's reality.
It looks like this was on one of the other Arjhan's worlds. It doesn't seem like it's Kaya's, but I can't see what it is.
Is it connecting to their world?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, I assume that this would be some multiversal traveler thing. So if it's the traveling star, whatever, it would make sense. We don't know how big that is or what the impact of it landing here is, do we?
No, but judging from the looks across and past the horizon, size, if it were to impact here, would be catastrophic. At best.
Oh. What are we speaking of exactly? It's not Kaya's.
No. Do we know where we don't know where the Dragonborn Island is.
You don't know its exact location, though. You would have to question a few people for that.
Who can we question?
You would have to go either to the town of Prospect, which is a floating city. You could either go back to, or you could go to Paradise, another place that you have been to before. Possibly reach out to any of the sailors who are there. Shao might know where this is located. Mostly people who live in the Sea of Burning Night might have, or travel it frequently, might have a better idea as far as where this is located. There is Vend, who was the Red Dragonborn that you had met so long ago back in Shroudport, that, maybe they're up to something. Maybe.
Oh yeah, Two Dick Vend.
Yeah, you don't know where that guy is, but he's somewhere that you feel like you could reach out to. Potentially, I mean, he does not know you. You guys shared not even half a drink.
I don't think Caelum knows them personally, so he can't sending them. I could. We can reach out to Shao. Maybe he knows. Matter of fact, I could teleport us there if that's a better base of operation than this island.
I think we need a quick answer.
Hold on. Notebook begins to formulate like the quickest way to get to like what I need. Okay. I think I got it. Sending Shao. Hi, Shao. Caelum here. Big crack in sky. Need to know where island dragonborn are. Thank you in advance.
Caelum, it is so good to hear from you. Island Dragonborn would have to look through the scrolls. Teacher is feeling much younger.
Okay, Shao said that they need to look through the scrolls to find us a location. Maybe I can try and chart something out while we're here to give us a better heading.
Do we know the name?
Do we know the name of the island?
I don't think you would have heard the name of the island mentioned at all, or if you did, you would not have heard the full name.
Do we want to bet on a teleport?
Arjhan is putting the echo shard on the ground. And casting Legend Lore.
Ooh.
So I'm using 9 more of my hit dice.
Give me that description, baby.
And I am describing the island of the Dragonborn that was left by the Planebreaker.
Okay. So, and Legend Lore, if you will remind me what all it gives.
I have described a place. So it's name or describe a person, place, or object. I'm describing a place.
Mm-hmm.
The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information.
Okay.
The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is.
Okay. Yeah, so the with your legend lore, you would know that the capital city / the name of this island is Praxhal to Grathis. is the name of this. I have it written down, so don't worry about the spelling. I got you covered.
Praxaltagarthus.
PAX Unplugged.
It is a, as you stated, it is an island that is actually made entirely out of this residuum, out of this echo shard material. It seems like it was built for this specific thing. With the legend lore, you have a relative knowledge of the place of where you would need to go, and know that it is an island surrounded by constant storms, tumultuous current, and most notably, the last, and you're assuming last, you haven't heard of many of these others, there is a dragon turtle that actually lives in the waters that only resides around this island. It seems like it is either its guardian or just a prehistoric creature that has decided that this place, they give me a lot of money and they give me a lot of food, so why not? These are the people of Praxhall. Are known as the Celestiatali, or the children of Celestian, and they do not worship any of the draconic gods, but rather they follow this sort of more traveling deity, Celestian. And it seems like they owe their livelihoods to being brought and sort of placed around these variety of worlds, and they are awaiting the return of what they describe as the Arc Star, what they believe will be if they are able to achieve passage upon it, will take them back to their ancestral home. But in the meantime, they await its arrival.
You said I did get a location.
A relative location, yes. Like if you're looking at like a grid, like a alphanumeric grid where it has like A and then 1 at the bottom, like you'd be able to point at least like the relative area in the Sea of Burning Night. You know that from where you are, it is a little bit more southbound. It would probably take you about 4 days of traveling by boat to get there, or if you had some other means of travel such as air passage, it would obviously take you a much shorter period of time. But like if you were going in a vessel like Oliviette's ship, it would take you roughly 4 days from where you are at currently.
Praxaltagarthus. It's 4 days south of here by boat. And like he's doing all this through the echo shard, so like there's just a draconic matrix, just like,
oh yeah, all of these
going through.
Arjhans are like, they're all doing the like suit up, like let's go, like we're going to this fucking place.
Well, the sketchy method is, if Arjhan's been repeating like the information that's been getting dumped onto him, the sketchy method is try to teleport us there. The more reliable but slower method is I can transform myself into, say, a whale, and you can ride on my back.
Does it seem, based off of the lore, that Praxaltagarthus would be a unwelcoming place?
Based on the legend lore, it doesn't seem like it's unnecessarily an unwelcoming place. They just aren't used to visitors, and they would be
the storm.
They would be they would question your arrival, but they don't seem like they are unwelcome. But they definitely export more people than they import, and not in that kind of way. Exodus, not export import people. That sounds weird.
People like to move.
Yeah, that one.
DM, do you have this location prepared?
I will by next week.
Yeah, we're almost on time anyway.
Is the echo shard that I have too big to fit in my dragon-sized bag of holding?
I'm gonna say no because it's funny.
I'm put it in.
Sounds good to me.
It's gonna fucking hurt. Right, Exalted Office. Gate.
Oh my god.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So we're gonna go on through.
Okay. So in a similar fashion to this broken or like this breaking fissure, Arjhan, using his draconic claws, tears through reality to reveal city streets, and there is a hubbub that has begat itself at this point because, you know, not every day a gate just opens up and you see that there are like merchants and other individuals that are sort of like poking their heads around like, what the fuck is this? And the most notable distinction that you can see between these Dragonborn is that they have like coil-like braids on some of them that come from the back of their head fins. Others are kind of like bulkier. You can see that they come in a variety of colors as well. Like there are muted greens, there are these teal, purple, like they are a variety of these Dragonborn folk. And like one of the merchants just like points with their finger, and as they say this and like verbalize through this gate as your party's just like, let's go, walking through, they say a true son of the sky as they point to Arjhan, who is still in big dragon form, and they say this in Draconic.
Blood coming out of his nose, coughing up blood because he just took 165 points of damage.
Arjhan's abilities come at a cost, y'all.
That's costly.
Actually, I did 3 dice too many, but it's funny. So, you know what? I have 30 hit points in a dream.
In Draconic, sorry.
Yeah, Cori runs up to him to like lay on hands and take care of him.
Draconic Cam's like, hi, sorry, this is a bit of an emergency.
It's returning.
They all like, it's just a bunch of people on the street. They're like,
It's returning 4 days by boat north of here.
You hear that there is the of like metal, like armor on armor, as it looks like some guards are like making their way at this dragon that has just appeared in their town through a gate spell. These things do not happen frequently. And Gwen, as you're just like, everyone's speaking in dragon. There are guards. We came in peace. And you are trying to like figure out the best way to assess this situation where you are not able to communicate with much of anyone. That is where we are going to call it for today's session. So when we come back, we're going to be in a very secluded Dragonborn town, just having arrived. It'll be a great time. But I always have a great time whenever these folks are on the channel. RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I shitpost mostly and ask, hey, DTRPG Twitter, do you have a character playlist? If so, send it to me because I have a lot of time at work and I want to listen to some new music. Other than that, you can catch me over at GGK on Saturdays, where we do Star Power. No, Ward 47, which is done in a game called a system called Parslings, where you use a deck of cards instead of dice for success. And my boy just mutated into a furry because he died. There are fates worse than death, y'all. That joke just came to me. Also, over at the Hype Goblins on Thursdays and Sundays. Thursdays, we play a D&D 5e game where I become party dad again. It's my motif, I guess. It's fine. On Sundays, we do a Pathfinder 2nd E game where our party got sent 8 years into the future, which would explain why we're switching systems and we're level 1 now. That's fun. Also, Sunday nights over at Neon Lights Roleplay, I play a slimy wet cat of a man named Hale and his parrot Hardy, and he from chat, he's the nicest slimy man you've ever met. Be Hale, do crimes. Nakehinner.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches, where I'm live on Fridays and Sundays. Fridays, we are playing through Resident Evil 4, the remake. And Lauren's just trucking through. We are making it. We're almost done with that. And then on Sundays, we do our Playthings of the Gods, which is a D&D setting, campaign, kind of homebrew stuff. They're doing space adventures. They're actually in a place that is in the Spelljammer setting, the Doom Arena. They're gonna be. They just went to what did we call it? Kinchella, which is a.
I gave you multiple names.
I know. It was it's a giant rave going on the back of a gargantuan sized whale in space. So it's super fun. They're having a great time. They just bought they don't know it. They just bought a dragon egg. They know they bought a dragon egg. They have no idea what it is. It's a lunar dragon. It's gonna be fun because they have no idea. Anyways, join us for that. Next time I'm gonna be live is tomorrow on GGK with I was gonna say Cori, with Danae, doing our masks game where we're at homecoming and something's happening and nobody knows we're superheroes, so we have to figure that out. Join us then. DanaeKeener.com.
Wait, I'm Cyber. You can find me here on Mondays. Yay, you found us. I'm also running a Cypher System Legend of Zelda game on Sundays on twitch.tv/HighShelf Collective. And I do stream sometimes on my channel. In fact, I streamed last Saturday. We played Viva Pinata after spending 40 minutes trying to get my cloud saves to get deleted so that I can start a new game. That was, yeah, you know what? It's a great game. We're just chilling out with it. It's a fun time. Don't look for me on Twitter. No one should go there. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, that's me. I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, most related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet there. You can see all the things that I'm up to, so go and check it out. See all the games I'm in. Yeah, come and check out Squire Squad tomorrow because Screen Shot is back and he's bad news. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or you can find us anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can check us there under the same moniker or over on YouTube at youtube.com/Indoor Adventures. But for now, we are going to be going into our Nights in the Courtyard after show, the free after show that we put on over at patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. I know I've said that phrase many, many a time, but hey, we're still kicking at it. We're still having a great time. So consider joining us for that. But we do have to head out for the evening. So I'd like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.